Hello and welcome to Part A of Chapter 20 in the A World Without Malaria series. Today, let's turn our attention to water, sanitation and hygiene. Did you know that roughly 70% of the world's illnesses can be traced back to contaminated water sources? Even more tragically, every year, over 5 million lives are claimed by water-related diseases. And at least 2 billion people worldwide rely on drinking water that's contaminated by human and animal feces. They're terrible statistics. Contaminated water, inadequate sanitation, and poor hygiene practices are closely linked to the spread of numerous diseases, including cholera, diarrhea, dysentery, hepatitis A, typhoid, scabies, polio, the list goes on. We understand that malaria is only transmitted through the bite of a female Anopheles mosquito. Still, it's also vital to recognize that malaria control is very much connected with responsible water management and good sanitation practices. Today's subject's not only about combating malaria, it's about upholding the fundamental value of striving for a quality human life. Let's continue working together for clean water, improved sanitation, and better hygiene practices as part of our commitment to safeguarding the health and the well-being of communities all over the world. Oh yeah, and you may have noticed I mentioned that this video was Part A. That's because this subject's covered in 2 videos, Chapters 20A and 20B. Enjoy.
Hi, my name is Jimmy. Water makes up more than 2/3 of human body weight, and without water, we would die in a few days. A mere 2% drop in our body's water content can trigger signs of dehydration like fuzzy short-term memory and difficulty focusing. Water is important to the mechanics of the human body, and just like a car cannot run without petrol, our bodies can't run without water. Contaminated water or a lack of water can make us sick in many ways. So, we must protect our water sources from waste and contamination. Our communities can suffer from one or more of the many diseases associated with insufficient water, unsafe water, poor hygiene, and bad sanitation. The worst and most common cause of disease is human feces. It contains millions of harmful organisms and, if not properly disposed of, will contaminate our water and food supplies and cause a lot of sickness. Waterborne or water-carried diseases are mainly caused by organisms from human feces entering our mouths via food and drinks. These organisms get there because polluted water is used somewhere in the food cycle. Illnesses from waterborne diseases include diarrhea, which kills at least 2 million children yearly, typhoid fever, dysentery, polio, hepatitis, cholera, amoeba, intestinal worms, and many others. Let's consider a few ways that water is involved in disease transmission. Water-dependent parasites such as hookworm, flukes, and guinea worm require water or moisture for their life cycle. Also, water is needed for parasites or viruses to survive in hosts, such as mosquitoes that transmit malaria, dengue, and other diseases. Water-washed diseases are the cause of many skin and eye problems. Wounds, burns, and sores can also be infected by washing with dirty water. Not having enough water is a serious problem, and dehydration can cause many deaths in droughts and famines. Toxins cause diseases. For example, mercury poisoning, which can happen when eating contaminated fish. Human and animal waste can contaminate water sources, but industry is also responsible for many of our polluted waterways. When chemicals from factories wash into water, they can cause all kinds of illnesses. When we think about water, we can see that it comes from three main supply types. They are: first, surface waters, including streams, rivers, lakes, ponds, and reservoirs or dams. Second is groundwater, which is water from sources beneath the Earth's surface, such as boreholes, wells, springs, and shallow groundwater. And the third is rainwater. I think you know where that comes from. Using clean water for food preparation and drinking is very important, but bathing and regular hand washing are also essential for maintaining good community health. Some water is safe for drinking directly from the source. For example, treated town or city water supplies are usually safe, although contamination can occur if there are poor delivery systems. Bottled water bought in stores is safe, although watching for repackaged water is important. Water from wells over 100 feet deep and protected from contamination with concrete casing and covers will be safe, provided that no one has contaminated the supply when drawing the water. Deep groundwater flowing out of bores and natural springs will be safe, if protected from local contamination. Rainwater is fine for drinking if the collection method is safe, such as if the catchment roof is clean and storage tanks are covered. Also, after dry periods, downpipes to the tank should be turned away from the tank inlet for the first 5 to 10 minutes of rain to wash away dirt and bird droppings. It is important to cover all tanks or containers for storage to maintain clean water and prevent mosquitoes from breeding and transmitting disease. All water sourced from rivers, streams, lakes, ponds, open duck wells, unprotected springs, or other unknown water sources should be considered unsafe for drinking without purification. Stream water may look clear and safe, but can be contaminated by animal and human waste, or by people washing upstream. The question is, what to do with contaminated water? Contaminated water can be made safe in a number of ways. Correctly storing water is the simplest way to reduce the level of contamination. There are many methods of purifying water, and you can find resources online to assist you with making systems that purify and store water safely. I hope the following tips help you get started. Firstly, there is boiling. This is the safest and most important basic method of purifying water. It is best to boil clear water for at least a few minutes. Just a few seconds is not enough. Boiling may only be practical if there is plenty of wood or other fuel available for burning, or if not much purified water is needed. Boiling water can become quite expensive. The two-pot method of cleaning water involves straining water through 2 layers of fine mesh cloth to fill a large pot. After filling the pot, cover the top and let it stand for 3 days. Dirt and germs settle to the bottom. On the 4th day, gently pour or scoop clear water from the top into a second container. Use the water from the second container for boiling, and the dirty water in the bottom of the first pot for the garden. Wash the first pot and start again with the next batch of water. Using ultraviolet light and sunlight is an easy way to purify water. Find some 2 or 3 liter sized clear glass or plastic bottles, or you can use plastic bags. Then fill them with clear looking water. Seal the containers and place them in direct sunlight for at least 8 hours. The sunlight will kill the bacteria in the water during this time. Putting the containers on black plastic or corrugated iron in the sun will heat the water more and reduce the time needed to make the water usable to about 4 hours. The bottles must not be colored, dirty, or tinted because the sunlight will not pass through the bottle. If you experience a cloudy day, the process takes longer up to 2 days. Of course, on a rainy day, this method doesn't work at all. Generally, this is a very simple way to produce household quantities of usable water. Chemical treatment, such as adding chlorine, is also a very good way to purify water. Pure liquid bleach that contains chlorine is widely used for water treatment. The bleach is added at 5 milliliters per 20 liters of water. Use this in combination with the sunlight method for even greater results. You can also use tablets containing chlorine or iodine to treat smaller quantities of water. Handling and storing all chemicals safely and ensuring the correct portions for water treatment is very important. Filtration is a way we can improve water quality. Straining through cloth and composite sand filters removes solid particles and reduces bacteria. There are many types of water filters for sale, but you can also make your own using various locally sourced supplies. Slow sand filtration uses containers at least 1 meter deep, providing good microbiological purification. Allow water to flow through the sand and gravel trap from the top, and it will come out clean at the bottom. After a few days, a biological layer of organisms forms on the surface of the sand. This layer retains and destroys worm eggs, bacteria, and even some viruses. However, this top layer must be scraped off after 2 to 4 weeks, when the water flow slows down. After 4 to 5 cleanings, you will need to add more sand. The water should always cover the top of the sand, and the container should have a lid. This type of filter can be built with a minimal experience and from everyday material, such as plastic pipes and containers. You can find instructions about how to make these types of water filters online. It is important to use the correct type of water storage containers. Large plastic barrels and concrete tanks are common. All water containers must be kept clean and sealed, as this keeps out mosquitoes and other insects, frogs, dust, and other pollutants. There are some exceptions where the immediate use of impure water to save a life is more important than stopping to purify it, such as when using water to rapidly cool severe burns. We can prevent a large percentage of sickness by paying attention to simple rules of water care. There are many resources available to assist you with the design and implementation of systems to purify and store water safely. But I hope these tips help you make your world a healthier and safer place. Involving the entire community in providing and maintaining water supplies is very important. A community-based approach benefits the protection of wells, springs, and washing areas, the building and care of sanitation facilities, and the teaching of good hygiene. Together, we really can make a difference. Thanks for listening.